I'm not a model. I don't have a six pack. I have a 40 ounce. That's what I have.
Welcome to the Dating Transformation Podcast. Here's your host, dating coach, Connell Barrett.
Welcome back to the Dating Transformation Podcast. I am your host, dating coach Connell Barrett. I help guys learn to flirt, gain confidence, and get a great girlfriend, all by being truly authentic. No creepy pickup tricks needed. And happy Valentine's Day. I know you're not listening to this on Valentine's Day. I'm recording it on Valentine's Day. So it's the perfect day to help us get some matches and some dates. I'm going to guess that because you're listening to this, you're probably not getting a whole lot of matches on the apps. Most guys don't. You might get very few quality matches with women you're into. Or if you do get some good leads, it's tough for you to chase them down and turn them into dates. And that can get frustrating. And it can lead to a lack of dates and just really giving up on dating apps and feeling really bummed out about your opportunities to find a partner. And today I want to help you fix that. Today I want to help you make one big improvement to your online dating profile, especially if you're on Hinge. But this really goes for any dating app that has prompts. So definitely Hinge, also Bumble, and any platform that lets you have those fun little prompts that pop up. And today I want to give you my top 10 funniest prompts for Hinge, Bumble, or any app that uses prompts. And I'm going to get to it in a second. So a lot of guys say to me, hey, what's the most important thing to what's holding me back? Why am I not getting matches and good leads on the dating apps? And the most common answer, the biggest, most universal issue is poor photos, not having good photos. But that's not what we're going to talk about today, because the second biggest reason why guys don't get matches or get dates is a lack of humor on their profile, a lack of fun, funny playfulness, good old-fashioned humor, coming across as a fun, funny guy, or at least a guy who can be fun and funny. And so other than good photos, which is definitely the most important thing on dating for dating app success, you want to have some humor. You want to make a woman laugh. You want to make her smile, giggle, and laugh for obvious reasons. Obviously, if she's looking at your profile and you crack a joke, you have a funny prompt, it shows her, not only are you giving her in that moment a fun little burst of enjoyment. Everybody loves to laugh, right? She's going to want to keep reading. She's going to want to keep swiping and learning more about you. But you're also doing something else when you're using humor on a dating profile. You're letting her know that you're probably going to be a fun date. She's going to have fun with you. She's going to enjoy dating you, or at least enjoy that first date. You know what women hate on a first date is a really boring date. They hate boring dates. They hate awkward dates where the guy just, there's awkward pauses and the conversation goes nowhere. And they also hate quote unquote creepy guys on dates. Now I know there's nothing creepy about you. If you're listening to this podcast, there's not a creepy bone in your body, guaranteed. But maybe you struggle with being fun or funny on dates. And maybe you struggle with conversation, what to say, how to say it, how to be flirty and how to be fun. And we'll talk about that in future podcasts, and I'll continue. And I have talked about it in other episodes. But the thing about having really good, fun, funny prompts and a couple, at least 2 or 3 pieces of your profile that make a woman smile and laugh is because not only are you giving her that little moment of smiling and laughing, but you're basically sending a signal to her saying, hey, if we go on a date, you're going to have a good time. It's not going to be awkward. It's not going to be boring. We're going to laugh and have some fun. That doesn't guarantee an emotional romantic connection, but man, it does help you get more dates. So having a profile that makes her smile is so attractive to women. It makes her laugh. Making a woman laugh on your profile, that is sexier than having 6-pack abs. Look, I'm not the best looking guy in the world. I'm not a model. I don't have a 6-pack. I have a 40 ounce. That's what I have. But I'm pretty funny on my good days. And a woman who likes my type is going to laugh and giggle as she looks at my profile, looks at my funny prompts, and that's going to make her more likely to want to have a date with me. Because I can't show her the six pack because I don't have one. I can't show her my male model looks because I don't have male model looks. I don't look like a male model. I look like Ron Weasley's stepbrother. But I can make her smile. I can make her laugh. So let's get to it. I'm going to count down my 10, what I think are my 10 funniest Hinge prompts or Bumble prompts. You can basically use them on any app that has prompts. But these are really designed for Hinge first and foremost, because that's where I do a lot of my testing of prompts to see what works and what doesn't. So I'm going to go through. Here we go. I'm going to count down my top 10 funniest Hinge prompts. Here's a quick little caveat. You don't have to copy and paste these prompts and use them exactly. Feel free to use one of them word for word if it works for you. At the same time, the whole thing about dating, what really works with women, is showing your authentic sense of humor, your authentic self. So feel free to tweak any of these prompts in a way that you think is more you.
I'm gonna read your mind. Ready? I'll bet that you would love to confidently approach women, get great matches on the dating apps, flirt with charm, and attract your dream girlfriend, right? But fear keeps you from approaching. You're not sure how to flirt. You struggle on the apps, and desirable women just don't seem into you. Well, I have great news. Dating coach Connell Barrett can help. He's guided thousands of men like you to more confidence and helped them attract their dream girlfriends. So book a free strategy call today to see if Connell's coaching is right for you. On your call, Connell or a team member will give you personalized advice to help you have more confidence, more dates, and more fun. Oh, and you'll be dating women as your best self, a charming gentleman. That's because Connell does not teach creepy pickup artist tricks. He unlocks your most confident self, so you can make authentic, romantic connections. Your next steps? Book your free call today at datingtransformation.com/contact and grab a time that works for you. Then you'll be on your way to more confidence, better results, and attracting bright, beautiful women. Oh, so you know, soon Connell will stop taking on new clients, so book a call today while you still can. Go to datingtransformation.com/contact and transform your love life. Bye.
Because, hey, if some of these prompts, if you love them, if they get you laughing, feel free to copy and paste one or two. But what's going to work best is a profile where she's really getting a sense of you. So feel free to tweak any of these prompts to make them sound more like you, because we want you to sound like you, the authentic you, not like Connell Barrett. All that said, here we go. My top 10, what I think are my top 10 funniest dating prompts. Some of these I wrote. Others I sort of developed with clients. Others, I think I've seen other dating coaches use these. So I'm not claiming like I wrote every word I'm about to say. So I'll give credit where credit is due for the appropriate one, if I can remember. But anyway, these are the top 10 that I've developed and edited, and some of which I wrote. Here we go. Number 10, I'm an amazing kisser. At least that's what my cousin tells me. And then you want a kissing emoji. It's number 10. Why does that work? Well, what we're doing here is we're cracking a joke. We're making her think that you're bragging, but then you do a reversal. You do a little twist on it. And instead of bragging about being a great kisser, you're making a silly joke about how, okay, but you've only kissed your cousin. So there's it's the unexpected that makes this funny. But as a little side bonus here, it is good that we're mentioning kissing on a dating app. So we're adding just a hint of flirtatiousness, getting her thinking about kissing you. And then you throw the funny a little misdirect talking about your cousin. An alternate version of this one, if you don't like making a kissing your cousin joke, which I would respect, you could say, I'm an amazing kisser. I practice a lot on my pillow all night long. That's basically me in grade school thinking about my crush. So that's number 10, the amazing kisser prompt. Number 9, I can cook any dish that you want as long as what you want is peanut butter on toast. And then there's a drool emoji. This prompt comes from, there's a really great coach in Australia, a guy named Damien. Damien, I forget how he pronounces his last name. He works with a school. His business is called the School of Attraction. I'm a big fan. And he had a prompt that was very similar to this. I reworked it a little bit. So credit where credit's due. Props, Damien. I'll say this one again. I can cook any dish you want as long as what you want is peanut butter on toast, with the drooling emoji. So here again, we're doing a part of one of the big secrets of comedy, of being funny, is just leading the audience down one path and then you redirect them toward another. So it's the surprise. And here she thinks that you're about to talk about some cool dish that you can make, but instead you're cracking a self-effacing joke about peanut butter on toast. So this gets a lot of good ha-has and laughs on my Hinge and on my client's Hinge. Here's another one. This one actually comes from Damien as well, or at least it was in his program. Quote, the divorce rate among my socks is astonishing. I like that one because it's just a silly random thing about the idea of socks getting divorced to me is funny. And it's a common thing. Everybody loses socks in the laundry. So there's just something silly and light about this. It's all about giving good emotions. So feel free to give that a try. The divorce rate among my socks is astonishing. That is number 1098. Okay, here's another good one I like. First date vibes. We have a long romantic dinner with my parents. Parentheses. What, too soon? So this is a good one for Hinge because first, Hinge has that first date vibes little category that sets up the prompt. So this works well with that. Again, I'll say it again. First date vibes. We have a long romantic dinner with my parents. What, too soon? The joke here, again, is you're trying to subvert expectations. And most guys, if they do write something about having a sexy, fun, describing a date, a romantic date, they might say, I'd love a romantic, fun dinner date with you. Again, we're subverting expectations by making it and that your parents are going to be there. So that obviously is a joke. No woman's going to take this literally, seriously. And a woman who likes this kind of humor is going to absolutely laugh at this. And then what's nice about these humorous prompts, especially on Hinge, where on Hinge a woman can respond to the prompt itself very easily. What can often happen is you get a nice back and forth going. She hearts the prompt and then she follows with a comment. She might say, oh, hey, so I'm going to meet your parents on our first date. And she'll LOL. And then you can say, yeah, my mom's going to love you. She loves women, named Jane who have dogs. You're totally her type. And I'm thinking we can get married by the third date. So you could turn it into a fun, playful back and forth banter if the prompt clicks with her. Okay, the next one. I like this one a lot. This is a Connell Barrett original. Shirtless, I look just like Hemsworth. My neighbor, Phil Hemsworth. Again, we are pulling the rug out from under the woman reading this because it starts off with you sounding like you're trying to brag about how good you look shirtless, that you look like Chris Hemsworth. But we find out that it's actually your neighbor, Phil Hemsworth. Something funny about the name Phil Hemsworth. And again, it's just silly. It's a subversion of the expectation, setup, punchline. And it's also, again, there's something really cool and confident about a guy who is not afraid to make fun of himself. And don't get me wrong, I want you to be confident and super certain about your worth and awesomeness to women and just your awesomeness as a man. And there's something really cool about a cool, confident, awesome guy who's also not afraid to joke about how he doesn't have a Chris Hemsworth body. So by the way, if you are ripped, if you do have an amazing body, you probably don't want to use this prompt. But if you're just a regular looking dude like me, regular physique, nothing too fancy, just try the Phil Hemsworth one. Again, shirtless. I look just like Hemsworth, ... My neighbor, Phil Hemsworth. And then you could add like a muscle emoji next to it. By the way, feel free to use whatever good emoji you think works with each of these prompts. 1, maybe 2 emojis most is totally fine to use with any of these. Here's another one, kind of similar to the Hemsworth one. I'm basically real life clickbait. Good looking with a terrible personality. And then a laughing emoji. So this is, why does this one work? Let me diagnose this in real time. So with this one, the prompt is again, you sound like you're bragging at the beginning, and you kind of are, but then you puncture your own braggadociousness with a self-effacing comment. You know what this is? This is actually a push-pull aimed at you. I don't know if you read my book and if you know about dating culture and dating terms, you might know the term push-pull, which is a way to tease. It's basically a tease and a compliment mixed together. You know, like you say to a woman, "Oh my God, you're either the coolest girl I've ever talked to or the nerdiest. I'm just not sure which one." So it's kind of like a compliment, kind of like a tease. I write about this in my book, How to Do Push Pulls. Anyway, usually push pulls are directed at a woman or at your date, just for fun. In this case, this prompt is actually a push pull toward you. I just realized that. So I think that's what makes it interesting. Women are used to guys being arrogant. They're not used to a guy at first sounding arrogant, but then cutting himself down. But it's a comedic thing. You don't literally mean that you have a terrible personality, I hope. And you probably don't literally mean that you're great looking. The whole point of this prompt is it's funny. So again, I'm basically real life clickbait. Great looking with a terrible personality. And it also is just telling a truth, right? Part of what works in humor is truth. There's just something about true things that make us all nod and laugh and resonate. And, clickbait or celebrity clickbait, it's good looking people with really lame personalities often, right? Think like thirst traps. Actually, you could actually revise this if you want to change it. You could make it, I'm basically a real life thirst trap. Great looking with a terrible personality. I think that's actually better. I would use that. And then a laughing emoji would be good. So again, the whole point of this, you're just trying to make her smile, make her laugh, because she'll want to keep reading, and then she'll want to match with you because she'll be thinking, hey, this guy is going to be fun and funny on the date. That sounds good.
Rejection, ghosting, loneliness, lack of dates, and lack of confidence. For many men, dating just sucks. But it doesn't have to. There's a simple yet powerful way to gain instant confidence and attract a great girlfriend. Be radically authentic. It's all laid out in the #1 Amazon best-selling book, Dating Sucks, But You Don't. Your step-by-step guide to attracting wonderful women and doing it with total authenticity. Author and dating coach Connell Barrett has had and fixed all the dating problems that you struggle with. He's also helped thousands of men gain confidence and find love. He's put his best tips and strategies into Dating Sucks But You Don't, so that you can confidently approach women and get dates. Become magnetic and attractive, even if you're not tall or great looking. Always know what to say to make sparks fly. Get lots of great matches and dates on the dating apps, and attract your dream woman. You can find Dating Sucks But You Don't on Amazon or wherever books are sold, in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. Get Dating Sucks But You Don't today to transform your confidence and find your dream girl.
Next one, I forget where I got this. I saw this somewhere out there and I really liked it. This is great for Hinge. So it's typical Sunday, recovering from my typical Saturday, and then add a martini emoji. So again, typical Sunday, recovering from my typical Saturday. What does that do? Now this is kind of funny, but it's not so much of a joke. It's a play on it's the repetition of typical Sunday, typical Saturday. There's a music to this prompt that's pleasant to read. And also it's creating it's sending a message that, hey, you're partying, maybe you're drinking, maybe you're partying, you're doing something fun on Saturday. And that's actually a high value sort of thing to convey on your profile. Just letting a woman know, hey, I had cool, fun stuff going on Saturday and I need to recover from it. It's also a nice, unexpected take on the Hinge setup line of typical Sunday. Because most people write typical Sunday, yoga, Netflix, and eating my Sunday bagel, right? That's fine. That information's fine, but it's not fun or funny. What I like about this is it's a little bit funny, and it's also saying, hey, I was out partying and having fun on Saturday. And guess what? Women want to date a guy. Many women want to date a guy who's doing fun things on Saturday. So feel free to throw in whatever emoji you think conveys you having fun on Saturday. Maybe a martini emoji, a little party hat, whatever sort of works for you. Okay, here's the next one. Next funny Hinge prompt. I think we're down to like number 2 or 3 here. Here it is. I love doing marathons. Netflix marathons, but still, and then a little TV emoji. I'll read this one again and I'll say exactly how to punctuate it. I love doing marathons, parentheses, Netflix marathons, comma, but still, ... end parentheses, and then a TV emoji. Very simple, very cute, fun little prompt. Why does this work? What's going on here comedically? Again, you're going down a path. You're leading the reader down a path of, oh, this person likes to run marathons. That's what we want her to think. And then you are subverting those expectations by cracking the joke of actually Netflix marathons. So it's very relatable. Most people don't run marathons. She probably doesn't. She's probably a Netflix person too. So all we really want here is to get her to laugh, get her to feel like this was funny. But as a bonus, she might laugh and then write you and say, what are you watching on Netflix? What's your favorite show? Have you seen the new season of whatever it is? And then all of a sudden you're talking about TV shows on Netflix, which is a perfectly good, fun, light topic to be messaging with a woman about. So yeah, that's the number 2, I think. And here's my number 1 favorite funny prompt. We're right up there anyway. These rankings are not hard and fast, but this is what I have down listed as number 1. Here it is. Our dream date? I take you to the finest Burger King in town. I know the maitre d'. Burger emoji, king crown emoji. So I'll read it one more time. Here's with punctuation. Our dream date, ... I take you to the finest Burger King in town, parentheses, I know the maitre d', end parentheses, and then the 2 emojis. I like this one a lot because it's very silly. It's dumb. There's just something kind of funny about juxtaposing the idea of a Burger King having a maitre d'. Of course, a Burger King doesn't have that. And it's self-effacing. Again, it's also slightly subverting what women are used to reading. So, by the way, all of this is about breaking women out of their swiping pattern, getting them to feel something good and see something new and different that they're not used to reading. What are women used to reading? If a guy does mention a dream date, it's going to be very standard. Our dream date. I take you out for dinner, followed by drinks and dancing. Okay, fine. that's not the worst prompt I've ever read, but it's not going to make her smile or laugh. And it's pretty basic. So here we've got a subversion where the dream date is you taking her to a fine Burger King with the maitre d'. And then again, we just want her thinking, this guy's funny. This guy's funny. So these are the 9 or 10 that I like the most. I've got a lot more. Let me throw a couple more ideas at you for funny prompts just before I go, because there are some really good ones that I didn't mention. Hold on a second. I'm just looking at my notes here. By the way, I've been talking about these through the lens of prompts. You can also use any of these lines in a regular bio. Any of these funny lines I've mentioned, by the way, they make a really good first line of a bio, because a great way to start your bio on Bumble or Tinder, that typical, the typical box where you put in a normal bio, great way to start it is with a funny line. So any of these can also double as that first line. Here's a few more funny ones just for more of your consideration. One that I really liked, has worked well for me, is I'm a gentleman on the streets with a dad bod in the sheets. The bed emoji. I like this one. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love long walks to the fridge. Okay. Here's a good one if you're a shorter guy. If you're, under 5'7" or 8, you could say, what I lack in height, I make up for with a 780 credit rating. The little money emoji. Because my feeling is, if you can't fix something, feature it. If you are not a tall guy, that's cool. All good. There's women out there for you too. Either don't mention your height at all. Don't make it of something you're insecure about, or feature it. Have some fun with it. So you could say, hey, what I lack in height, I make up for with a 780 credit rating. Or I like this one. I'm not tall, but I'll protect you by punching a mugger right in the shin. That's a good one if you're on the short side. If you're tall, definitely mention your height, because, hey, if you're 6 feet or taller, can't hurt you, could only help you. And you could have some fun with this one. You could say something like, just so you know, I'm 6 foot, but don't worry, I might let you be the big spoon. That's a good one because it's playful and light. It's also conveying your height if you're a taller guy. And it's a little bit romantic because now you're painting the picture for her of spooning in bed. Now we're getting into a romantic sexual place. Oh, here's another one. Actually, you know what? Here's my number one favorite. Here's my number one favorite one. I'm loving this one. This is great for Hinge or Bumble. Whichever one has the shower thought. I forget. I think it's Hinge. But anyway, a shower thought I recently had. No hot water. So basically, you just write out a shower thought I recently had, and then all capped, exclamation point. No hot water, all capped, 5 exclamation points. You get it, right? That's the shower thought you had. It's literally the shower thought you had when there was no cold water. We've all had that moment in the shower. And yeah, so that wraps things up. Those are some humorous Hinge Bumble prompts. And feel free to just take the concepts I've talked about here. You know, the idea of starting off on one path on a Hinge prompt and then subverting it, changing it. Feel free to mess around with your own prompts and use your own humor, your own sense of humor, your own personality. Again, after photos, cultivating a good sense of humor is the best way to get matches and dates on the dating apps. Because if you can make her laugh and you have reasonably good photos, you're going to get some dates. Some pretty wonderful women. And one last tip, I would say, a lot of guys say, well, how many of my prompts, how much of my profile should be funny? Good question. More than you might think. I would say you can have up to 50% of your profile is designed to make her smile and laugh. As long as you're not repeating the same kind of joke. So it's fine. It's fine to have 2 out of your 3 prompts be funny on Hinge. Have the third one be more sincere and relatable, because we do want to be sincere and relatable. You don't want to just be all humor all the time. But I'd say 25 to 50% of your profile can be fun, funny lines. And the rest of it is more relatable, more sincere, more specific about who you are as a guy. And that's a really nice balance, because now we've got a woman who sees you as a relatable, dateable dude. And we've also got her laughing and feeling good. And then you're in business. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day, late to you. And I'll see you next time. And don't forget, remember, your dream girl is out there. She's already into you. She will like you. She just has to meet the real, authentic you. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Dating Transformation Podcast. For lots of free tips, videos, and other goodies, go to datingtransformation.com. See you next time.
Produced by Heartcast Media.